So we've talked about expertise-based, but there's also technology-based partnerships. And Netta announced one this morning. And these may sit on top of our platform, beside, or in one very special situation, underneath our platform. And of course, this is now my lead-in to talk about our strategic partnership with Microsoft. So our SaaS platform is based on the Microsoft Azure cloud, as many of you will know. And so to elaborate with me more about the value of innovation, partnerships, and also sustainability, I would like to invite Medha Kogal. I think I did okay there. Thank you, to the stage. Medha. So Medha is the General Manager and Chief Executive of Microsoft in Denmark and Iceland. We first met in a very windy, rainy evening where we had some fantastic sushi, and I entered the room kind of terrified by the specter of AI. I think I just watched another Terminator movie. Anyone seen that with Skylab? And Medha, ease all those concerns. So thank you for being with us today. I know you've kind of flown in between different trips around the world.
Well, thank you too, and thank you for the invitation. And what a fantastic setup and venue. Yeah, it's great.
Very good. So Medha, you know, Microsoft is shaping the world in many ways beyond just technology. And so I want to go through a number of different topics, but to start with is looking into the crystal ball of the future. And of course, I'll get to AI. I have no choice. There will be a stampede unless I don't say AI a few more times. But the cloud, oh, are we done yet? Is that it? Where does it go?
I think it goes beyond. That's also why you are announcing everything you are doing today and the way you do it. I think that the cloud for a business, it actually comes with three things. So it comes with that you can focus on your business and not focus on all the, you can say, tedious infrastructure technologies underneath. It comes with a place where you can safely and compliant have your data. And then it comes as a platform where you can ongoingly innovate your technology. And that is also the platform we provide. So that's how we see it. So I see the cloud as the future of digitalization. I don't see any technology companies today deliver new technologies that are not coming on a cloud. So it is going to be the highway for innovation going forward.
So in the end, we'll start thinking about it as little as we do about electricity or water. We turn the switch and it works and we take it for granted. So
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, and we'll come back to what the responsibilities of a trusted platform. We'll come back to that in a moment. But what about AI? So that kind of windy, rainy night, you transformed my view of what was possible in a secure and enterprise space. And so how are you seeing, and Microsoft's absolutely at the forefront with an enterprise viewpoint, not the unregulated kind of Wild West, but for businesses like ours. What are you seeing out there? What is happening?
But I see that new technologies are coming, generative AI is coming, and it is going to fundamentally transform the way we work. And I actually also think the way we live and how we digitalize going forward. So the experience we have right now just on how more efficiency you can bring into your business is that with the right use of generative AI, you can move 30 to 50% faster. And I will just repeat that, 30 to 50% faster on some of your core processes if you get this right. And I think the new function that you just presented up here actually shows that quite well. It just seems super easy. And that is what generative AI is doing. It is a human interface. It's a super strong model behind it, and it can just tie a lot of stuff together. You work with systems development yourself. We have something called GitHub Copilot, which is a copilot for developers. We use that in Microsoft ourselves. We are 90,000 engineers in Microsoft, and we see a 50% efficiency gain using this AI copilot in our work. And that, of course, brings different stuff, right? You can take the money on the bottom line if that is what you want. It gives you the opportunity to actually not have as much as a challenge of bringing in the right technology people in the business. And it gives you the opportunity of innovate much faster and bring new products in the market much faster than you are used to. So I see super strong technology coming out.
So that dinner we had, I'm a very slow typist, and so I will often dictate emails. And when we talked a lot about Copilot, and many of you will see it sitting on the bar there for Outlook, and now it writes a lot of my emails. So apologies if they're wrong. It's not my fault. It's Netta's fault.
It's mine.
No. But the second is, many of you know that we are on a journey to become fully cloud native. And after the conversation with Meta, it was, okay, how can we use Copilot in a secure environment? That was critical to work on the migration towards microservices. So, I mean, and it's not a threat to our jobs. It's actually going to change our life. Personally, I think Europe will move to a 4-day working week within not many years at all. And if that's because our work is being done, a kind of boring or mechanical work is being done, that's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, and I think if you are a company, what you should also think, you get some automatic co-pilots. You come with generative AI in your products. We come with generative AI co-pilots in our products. But as a company, you can also build your own co-pilots. So you can build your own co-pilot for your customers to have a much easier way into, doing business with you. You can build your co-pilots to release products much easier than it was before. But also as people, we can build our own co-pilots. So I can build my own technical assistant to help me with what I need help for. And I still have a secretary because there's still a lot of stuff that the co-pilot might not be able to do. But I can get rid of a lot of very tedious tasks, preparing for meetings, doing resumes, following up on stuff where I have to look through emails and finding out, who said what and when, and just move much faster and actually concentrate on what is the key of what I do and not on all the, you can say, administrative or tedious tasks.
Brilliant. It's fantastic. And we spent the entire evening, I think, talking about AI, and I could do so again. But I want to change it a little bit because the theme of this section is about partnerships.
Yeah.
And so many of you will know that Siebel Systems, mid-sized technology company, we set off on our cloud journey and we made a mistake. In fact, our customers, told us very loudly that we had picked the wrong vendor. And so we had to take a step backwards and we went out and we found Microsoft, who weren't hard to find, to be honest. They were sitting there in big
calling you every day.
And so we changed tack, and our SaaS platform is now on Azure. And it's very, very strategic. They're our biggest partner by any means, and one of the biggest items, you won't like this, on our balance sheet, but that shows how important it is. And what we found as we set off down this journey together was the amount of expertise and support and help that was provided to us was kind of game-changing. And so we pivoted. But I bring this up, and there's a question at the end of all of this, is that we have just achieved the top-tier partner status for Microsoft Cloud Partner Program. We're very proud of that, but what does that mean to you, to us, and to our customers? What does that mean?
Yeah. First of all, I just want to acknowledge the partnership also with you, because you are also an important partner for us, just to be very clear on that. And I was actually reflecting a bit on your presentation on the values you bring, that you want to go beyond and you want to make the world a better place. And actually, that is also the mission of Microsoft. So I think in a true partnership, you can also share, you have to somehow share the values as well, because it makes the collaboration and all what you have to do much easier. So I was so happy to hear that. Now, the top tier part is of course to acknowledge that you are a very important partner, but it also brings you that all sellers in Microsoft will actually be incentivized to sell your product.
I like that.
So,
I like
and
that
we
a
are
lot.
quite many people in Microsoft, I have to say.
And how many sellers do you have?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe 100,000, something like that.
I'm going to talk to John about his sales targets for next year later.
Yeah, right. So, of course, it is to acknowledge also the partnership, but it is also to, blend the blood even more and to, put skin in the game. and say that we incentivize our people because you are an important partner for us. You drive our business, and we drive your business. So that is what is in it.
And what about for customers, the big accounts out there that many of whom are already committed to Microsoft and Azure?
Yes, we are also talking about bringing you into something that we call our marketplace, which also comes with the partner status that you have. And the marketplaces, it's actually a little bit Microsoft's App Store, if I should try to make a picture of what it is. So there's a lot of different systems, a lot of different functionalities, a lot of apps. One of them is Stibo Systems software in there. And because you already have an iPhone, because you already have Microsoft Azure, you can just download it, and it actually works within the security setup that you have, within the whole of whatever infrastructure setup you have decided to work with in Azure. It just clicks into that, and it makes it super easy. And if you as a customer also have an Azure consumption agreement with us, it fits into that as well. So you don't have to do special deals and a lot of other stuff around it. It just fits into the model that the customer already have with us.
So I've worked with this before, and what it means is if your company has a Microsoft consumption agreement, your developers trying to solve your business problems can reach out and play with this technology easily without going through the hierarchy and without signing NDAs, just seamlessly. And if later you decide that's the way to go forward, the contracting and procurement is all kind of dealt with. It's a marketplace where the pricing is fixed. It just takes a lot of the burden out of what is, buying stuff is painful. The fun bit is figuring out what you need, but then the next bit, it kind of gets painful, and the marketplace takes a lot of that away.
So it's back to you focusing on what you're best to. Your business will take care of the technology and all of that behind it, and it helps you scale real fast. Yeah.
So let's talk about the cloud for a minute. We talk quite a lot about trusted cloud. Cloud's the cloud. What does trusted cloud mean? What is that?
To me, a trusted cloud is a cloud where you have compliance, so that you're sure that you are within the boundaries of all the legal stuff you need to apply to. In Europe, there's a lot of GDPR compliance that you need to adhere to. We get a lot of new frameworks all the time. We have something called NIS2 coming in. And when you are, at least on our cloud, we provide that. It's part of the infrastructure. We apply to all of that. So when you are on our cloud, you get these frameworks. And I can tell you it is super expensive to run these projects yourself to get all of that in place. So that's one thing. Then there's the cyber part of being a trusted cloud. Microsoft actually today is the biggest security company in the world. We were not 4 years ago, but today we are the biggest security company in the world. And we're the company in the world that invests most in security. And cloud is actually, for cyber, the most secure place to be. And with Microsoft, because we are the size we are, and because cyber is super global, we are also, in a cyber sense, a super secure place to be. And that just also creates trust that you can leave your data with us. Nothing bad is going to happen. And we're also running 24/7. We're not down with all kinds of issues that might hit in your own data center because you are not updated or whatever it might be.
This is huge. We take this for granted until it goes wrong. And so this is huge that Microsoft really set this out as...
Yeah. And then maybe the last thing, because there's also a sustainability part to being a trusted, and you can is it business competition or is it trust? But I think it will become very much part of the trust story if it's not already there. So being in a cloud and running a data center is actually also super sustainable because you only use what you use and you share the resources. That's one thing. Then we have a really hard sustainability goal in Microsoft. In 2030, we want to be neutral on everything, and positive on a few things as well. And in 2050, we want to pay everything back on carbon that we have ever used in the world.
Wow.
So that is quite a hard commit, also with all the AI coming in. But that means that when we build data centers, we build them with green power, we build them with reusable materials, we reuse the heat in them. We are investing more than we should or could or need to from a business point of view in order to drive this agenda as well. And as a customer, you get that as part of your delivery to your customers.
I didn't know that, and that is quite humbling. Just that line of paying back everything ever in the history. And when was Microsoft founded?
It's some 20, 30 years ago, yeah.
At least,
like
it was
that.
the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
I was very young, obviously, then, and you weren't born. But I mean, that is just quite incredible that we have set out our goals in Siebel Systems, and actually the huge organization as Microsoft has even more ambitious plans. We're only 800 people, so our goals are achievable. But that is... So that alignment with sustainability is critical to us. And I think we set, as we move on our journey, having a partner that has even more ambitious objectives is critical. So Meta, I'm going to thank you. I could spend another all night. Maybe we will again, hopefully
will.
better weather. But thank you for making the journey. Thank you for
too.
being
Thank you for
partner.
being here. It's fantastic.
And I really appreciate it.
And thanks for the partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.